Mr. Speaker, H.R. 890 would prohibit the Secretary of Health and Human Services from issuing waivers relating to the compliance and with the work requirements for welfare recipients which were created under the historic 1996 Welfare Reform Law. These work requirements have led to more work, more earning, less welfare dependence, and less poverty among low-income Americans. Additionally, H.R. 890 incorporates the text of H.R. 987. H.R. 987 extends the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program, so-called TANF, which is due to expire on March 27th through the end of 2013. Mr. Speaker, the Welfare and Medicaid Reform Act of 1996 made historic changes in the way our country treats its most impoverished citizens. Generally, the reforms offered states new flexibility in designing welfare programs. However, in exchange for that flexibility, strong new federal work requirements were put in place. These requirements specified the minimum number of hours per week an individual must engage in either work or work-related activities, and penalties for failure to comply. What were the results of the 1996 reform? Well, let me just go over a few. America saw the greatest reduction in poverty among children since the 1960s. The employment rate for single mothers in 2010 is higher than it was in 1996, even though the unemployment rate itself has almost doubled during that period of time. And poverty among single mothers has fallen by 30%. The list of successes associated with the law, which I must stress was bipartisan and worked upon by both parties, both in this chamber and obviously by President Clinton, goes on and on. In addition, Mr. Speaker, the Welfare Reform Act specifically prohibited waivers on the new TANF work requirements. Under both Republican and Democratic administrations, it's been assumed that these requirements could not be waived. However, the current administration, through a so-called informational memorandum, I'm not frankly quite sure what that is, has decided it does have the authority to waive these work requirements. Mr. Speaker, the bipartisan compromise that was drafted in 1996 has done a good job in reducing poverty in this country and improving the lives and the prospects of those mired in very difficult circumstances. We should not allow the administration to undo by an informational memorandum what Congress and presidents in the past have been able to accomplish by statute. Mr. Speaker, this is a good bill and a good rule. I urge the support of the rule and the underlying legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.